Welcome to another podcast in the Ramm's Den. And today I'm joined by Soytheist, or otherwise Aditya. I call you Aditya. I don't call you Soytheist, but people know you as Soytheist, right? Welcome,
Yes.
man.
Thank you. Thank you for having me on the podcast.
First time here, right?
Yeah, first time on the podcast.
Cool, but not the first time on the David Ram's channel, of course. And
Yeah.
not your first time on this channel either. I think you're in a couple of live streams that are on this channel as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is the first time we're doing a podcast dedicated to you
Yeah.
and your experiences and your life,
hmm
because some shit's going down, isn't it?
Yeah, it's accurate to describe it as some shit going down.
So I'll tell you what, I will just very, very briefly for those who are just like, okay, I want to know if this is worth watching or not, right? Or listening to. I'll give a very brief little snapshot, and then most people are going to want to hear what the fuck is going on, I think. So Aditya, you called out a supposed vegan
hmm
who was made a post saying he ate eggs because
hmm
he couldn't find another option at the time and wouldn't wait until the next day. This was dinner time and he refused to wait till breakfast, so he ate eggs. You called him out.
Yeah.
They threw some shit back at you. You threw some shit back at them, but
hmm
the shit you threw back at them for them was too far. And then now
hmm
they're taking you to court over it or trying to get some kind of legal action. This is what's going on. Now we're
Yeah.
gonna delve into this into the more detail and call out some of this hypocrisy and stuff. So tell us. Let's dig into that a little bit deeper. Like that, I've given the overview.
hmm
Now from you, man. What's going on?
So how
Yeah.
this began is like a couple of years ago, actually. Um,
Okay.
so so there's a person whom I shall not name, but you may, who is of the opinion that who has some strange vegan opinions. One of their opinions is that vegans, especially privileged vegans, should donate their money to slaughterhouse workers. Okay, and I criticized that, and while I criticized that, I censored their username, and then they came back at me, and while they did that, they did not censor anything out of me. They were like, this person, Soytheist, is an elitist, is a non-intersectional, whatever. They're like calling me names. And I'm like, fine, I'm not going to say anything. This person is a vegan.
So this
Now,
Satan beef started a while back then, and this
yeah, yeah.
individual who's saying more nonsense now was wow. I actually didn't. I don't think I even realized this. I don't think we've even discussed this privately.
Yeah, no,
Actually,
we haven't.
wow. Okay, so
Yeah.
right. Okay, the Beyond
So,
Beef started a couple of years back. Got it.
yeah, yeah. So I don't go after vegans. That's
Yeah.
like, if unless they're stepping on my toes, I don't go after vegans. And so that's the thing. I didn't criticize them for that. Now this person also goes after other vegans. Okay,
Mm.
they go after like privileged vegans, so to speak. They go after upper caste vegans for like just being upper caste and that kind of stuff. But I still didn't say anything. Now recently, this person stated in their story, and they stated, quote, I ate the eggs for dinner, when they said that they wouldn't eat dairy options if dairy options were the same, were available, and vegan options were available next morning. So
So let's clarify this again, just for like for anyone that's like getting
mm,
lost here. So let me clarify. So he said in his story, he said, I just ate eggs, or
mhm,
I ate eggs,
mhm,
right? And then in the same string of stories, he said,
mhm,
if it were only dairy available, I wouldn't
mhm.
have done it. I'd have waited till the morning.
Yeah,
But as it was eggs, I don't think that's so bad, basically. It's kind of what he
yeah,
was getting at, right?
yeah,
Eggs
yeah,
is okay, dairy's not.
mhm,
So I ate the eggs,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
So the guy, first of all, believes that privileged vegans should give all their money to slaughterhouse workers, and then he also believes that eating eggs is okay and dairy and meat isn't. And this
yeah,
is supposedly a vegan we're talking about.
yeah,
It's not sounding very vegan to me, but
yeah.
yeah.
So now this is when I said, well, hold on. This person goes after certain vegans, right?
Hmm.
But they seem to be not vegan themselves, right?
A fair evaluation, I'd say.
Um, so I'm like, well, I need to criticize this decision to eat the eggs. And so I did. And now they try to defend this position. Not only did they, I think that they ate the eggs, right, which we'll get into later why I say I
Hmm.
think, but they also then respond to my criticism saying, oh, no, no, this is fine because cameras supposedly have animal products in them too. So since I said that this is not vegan, they're coming back
Hmm.
at me with like, no, no, you use a camera, you make YouTube videos, so you're not vegan either, right? And I thought that was pretty ridiculous. I made
Mhm.
a video again saying, look, I made a defense of why using cameras is vegan but eating eggs is not. So that's what's
Mhm.
happened so far.
Yeah.
Now there were like a lot of people who would never criticize this specific person for
Mhm.
going after other vegans and that kind of stuff. Now a lot of them came right after me, like you're creating vegan drama and that kind of stuff. You're creating drama within the movement, which I thought was very unfair. Now, I hypothesized that there could be certain reasons why they're doing this.
Mm.
I said it's either speciesism against chickens, or
Mhm.
they have some kind of ethnic bias against me. Now, why did I say that? And now that I think back on it, it probably isn't. But why did I say that? It's because when I was making that video earlier that day, I was called a slur. So when these
Right.
people are like, all of them are coming and supporting this person and criticizing me for criticizing the decision to eat eggs, I was thought like,
This is where I'm getting a bit confused as well,
yeah.
because I know in your last video you actually tried to say, like, do you know what? Maybe it wasn't the best thing to say,
Mhm,
that
mhm,
part.
mhm.
This was it the
Ethnic
you were
bias.
the ethnic bias, right? That you were saying. I don't know if that's so sensible, but I mean, look, if let's make this about, let's just switch this for a second
Hmm.
to, I don't know, let's westernize it and make it
Yeah.
about black people and white people.
Yeah.
So if we have some people who are white and like one person who's black and everyone's vegan,
Yeah.
and one white person says, I ate eggs because I was hungry and dairy's not as bad. I'm
Yeah.
sorry, dairy's worse, so I wouldn't have eaten dairy, but I ate the eggs, even though I could have waited till the morning, right? And then the black vegan says, well, I mean, clearly you're not a vegan then. You ate eggs when you could have waited.
Yeah.
And then a load of supposed vegans who are also white just
Hmm.
jump on this black vegan and say, no, no, you're wrong. He's still vegan, da, da, da,
Yeah.
completely against logic.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be crazy for that black vegan to be like, is this some kind of racial thing going on here? Like, why are you guys
Yeah.
defending this dude? Like, this isn't logical. There's
Hmm.
not nothing rational about what you're doing here. This
Yeah.
feels like you're siding with this person for the sake of siding with them.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not saying it's evidence of a racial bias, but I don't think you were completely off base to suggest that maybe, I mean, because you are in India,
Yeah.
you would be
uh,
exposed to this kind of stuff,
yeah,
right?
I'm an ethnic minority within India.
Maybe the way you phrased it was, I don't know, potentially inflammatory or whatever. But
Yeah.
I don't blame you for considering that, maybe for even just for a second, like, wait a
Yeah.
minute, is that what's going on here? Because this
Yeah.
seems a bit off, right? So
Yeah.
I don't blame you for that, man.
I still think it might be a possibility, but
Yeah.
there's this, like, as you say, it's still a possibility. But I think what could be said, there's this thing called Hanlon's razor, which is that never attribute to malice that which is adequately explained by stupidity.
Okay.
Um,
Yeah. Okay.
so,
So we're swapping for racist, the racist or the casteist. Now they're just stupid. So I guess that's the. I guess we're just kind of dropping down the severity there. I
yeah,
think they'll be happy with that. Maybe they won't
yeah,
sue you for calling them
yeah.
stupid.
No, that's just Hanlon's razor. I don't even use
Okay.
the word stupid. I
I-
prefer the word irrational. So maybe, yeah.
silly.
So
Silly's a good one.
yeah,
Silly. I
silly is
like
a
that.
good
That's
word.
quite harmless.
So these people were all supporting them, supporting this person who supposedly ate the eggs, and I
Mhm.
initially said they were, being racist. Now I think that they were being more irrational or being more ideologically tribalistic.
Right. Okay.
Whatever, it could be any one of these things. We
Sure.
can't know for sure.
Of course. Yeah.
And when I said that they were racist, that's when it became really serious, and they're like, no, no, you can't call me a racist. I'm gonna sue you for defamation. I'm gonna sue you for harassment. I'm gonna you're using. I'm apparently using their content. Like, how else am I supposed to criticize your content without showing it
Right.
on the
Yeah.
screen?
Well,
Uh,
there's fair use policies.
yeah,
There's this anyway. The law's not on their side with that, is what I'm trying to say. Public content, you're allowed to comment on it as
yeah,
long as you're not using it to profit just by reposting it and not
yeah,
changing it. If you're commenting on it, you could even technically argue and go to court by reacting to parts of a popular movie that just hit the cinema.
yeah,
Like, you actually can argue a case that I'm allowed to do this. You wouldn't be able to because you don't have the money. But
yeah,
the point is that their content is not as protected as they think it is. That's the
yeah,
point I'm trying to
totally.
say there. Yeah, yeah. Okay. So now this is where we're at. So they're
Yeah,
threatening legal action
Hmm.
because of what you said, right?
Yeah.
This is okay.
And they sent me a legal notice, which was a bit comical. Like, and the weird thing is, they even posted it onto their own social media, which was
Right.
like very weird to me. And they, within the legal notice, it says things like upper caste, and within bracket it says, like, well, it says savarnas, and within the bracket it says oppressor caste, which is just not which is just not legal language to me. But what do I know? I'm not a lawyer.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
um but there's that. Yeah.
Okay.
And now, and like, they continuously claimed that, we're gonna file a case for defamation, we're gonna do this. And within the legal notice it says that if you don't comply to our demands, and I'll state what the demands were. If you don't comply to our demands, it will allow us to take legal action, including a civil suit for defamation. So, what am I supposed to understand? That all this while they have been saying that we're going to file a case for defamation, and in the legal notice it says civil
Mm.
suit for defamation. The only thing that I'm going to understand is, like, you're going to sue me. That's what I'm going to understand.
But now
Um,
they're claiming they're not trying to sue you, right?
yeah,
That's what
yeah,
they're saying now. They're saying,
yeah,
no, no, we never said that, right?
yeah, yeah. And
But
then
maybe they
they
didn't
said,
read their own document. Maybe it
yeah,
could be. But yeah, we are dealing with these Occam's razor people. Let's just, yeah, you can call them
yeah,
that. Silly people. All
yeah.
right. Okay. And so as it stands right now, you've not done the demands, right? This is what were the demands? What I
Okay.
can't believe there's this set people. I can't get my head around that there are certain vegans that think they're so important as to serve another vegan demands, or they're going to sue them
Yeah.
over an opinion. It's anyway. Go on. What were the demands?
The demands were that I take down the videos where I criticize them,
Okay.
and where I call them a racist, which I did actually. I did take down the video where I did call them a racist because, well,
Mhm.
I cannot be sure. The second demand was to donate all the money that I made from these videos to an animal rescue organization of their choosing, and to apologize to them on video publicly. And to be fair, well, to myself, I did apologize and said that, I couldn't be sure that you are a racist, and said, well, I should not be levying such heavy accusations when I could
Mhm.
not be 100% sure.
Right. Okay. And now because you're not following the other things, they technically they're still going to go ahead and try and
Yeah,
sue you. This is what we're expecting, right?
yeah, yeah.
So let me tell you, man, I've got a take on this that I was thinking about today before,
Hmm.
we said we were going to talk today. So I've been thinking about it a lot. I've been thinking about the types of people that are doing this. Now, these are people who are self-proclaimed intersectional
Hmm.
activists, right? These are the type of people that I would say are most sensitive to matters of racism and sexism within any community. These are the kind of people that are going to see it potentially when it's not there, like really, really sensitive people to this kind of
Yeah,
stuff, right? It's fair to say, right?
yeah, yeah.
Would
It
you
is.
say?
It is fair
Okay.
to say that. Yeah.
So now the reason I'm saying that is if I said something to you, Aditya,
Hmm.
and you made a video saying like, I feel that what you've just done or what you've just said or whatever, the way you're
Hmm.
acting towards me is racism, actually. I feel like you're being racist towards me and I'm not happy about it. Right.
Yeah,
Then
yeah,
I said to you, fuck you, Aditya, I'm suing you for saying that. Right? I am the devil, correct?
yeah,
I
yeah.
am Satan himself. And these people would attack me. They would try to defame me. They would try to get me cancelled.
Hmm.
They would try to make me lose everything because they would
Yeah.
say to me, how dare you, as a white person,
Hmm.
disagree with this minority
Yeah.
saying they feel that you're being racist. If they say if they feel that way, you need to just figure it out, apologize. You
Mm.
cannot sue them. Like,
Mm.
how dare you use the system of oppression that
Yeah,
they believe that the
yeah.
government's a system of oppression. How dare you use that to further oppress that individual? You sick
Hmm.
fuck. I would be Satan,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, totally.
But that's exactly what they're doing to you.
Yeah, exactly. They're totally doing that to me. They're like anti-establishment. They're anti this, but they're using the establishment to, get me into trouble. And let me just give people some context for about which minorities and majorities we're talking about within India. So I'm from the northeastern region of India, which is a marginalized section of India, and any sensible person who is politically educated would agree with that. I'm also from a tribal ancestry within that region, and like, so that's again a further degree of marginalization. And these people, like both of them who are threatening to sue me, they do not come from the northeastern region. They come from the mainland region of India, and they're using the system against a marginalized person to get them into trouble.
Which is phenomenal, because if you consider what maybe not you specifically, but your people would have
Hmm.
been through at the hands of this exact system, like the police,
Hmm.
the discrimination that I'm sure people from your ethnic group have faced.
Hmm.
These people that are doing this to you are actually trying to use the police,
Yeah.
use the government. That they know that the government and the police has biases against people like yourself,
Hmm.
and they're trying to use these people to punish you for having an opinion they didn't like. Again, if I were called something like that, for if you called me an anti-Indian bigot, which loads of people do call me, by the way,
Yeah.
because of my Sadhguru videos, I'm an anti-Hindu, I'm an anti-India bigot, and I sued them for it. As I said earlier, I would be evil. I would
Yeah.
be Satan. People would tell me, why are you doing this to these people who are already under so much stress, under so much, have been discriminated so much by your people? How
Hmm.
dare you come now and say, do this? If you're not happy about them calling you these names, you could talk to them, or you could just ignore it. Do you
Yeah.
really need to get the police involved? Do you really need to get the government involved, considering what those people and the government and police have done to these people in the past?
Okay, so let's be fair to them.
Sure,
One
go
of the
ahead.
people that's suing, like threatened legal action, let's say, because now they're claiming that they're not going to sue me,
Right.
and we'll get to that. But one of the people that is threatening to take legal action, let's say, against me is from the mainland region of India, and is upper caste. It's They're as upper caste as you can be. They're
So that
Brahmins.
basically, the caste system, just to
Yeah.
quickly reiterate for anyone that's not aware of that, this is a system kind of where, based on the family you're born in, based on your surname, basically you
Hmm.
are you are like up and high and considered to be like important or whatever, or
Yeah.
you're like down at the bottom and you're treated like shit. Basically,
Hmm.
that this is how it was, and a lot of it still is
Yeah,
still happening right in India.
it still happens. We can't deny
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
the legacy of these oppressions continue to this day.
Okay. Okay.
So one of the people is like as high up on that ladder as you can be,
Mm.
and they're also from the mainland region of India. The other person who ate the eggs, let's say, um, supposedly ate the eggs, they are from the mainland region of India, but they're
Mhm.
on the like they're like towards the bottom. Like in fact, they're on the bottom of that ladder.
Mhm.
So that's the scenario here. But we must
Okay.
understand that like whether you're lower on that ladder or high up on that ladder, if you're from the mainland region of India, you still have certain levels of privilege that people from the northeastern region do not have.
I get
Basically, what
that.
I'm saying is India is a political um, mixture. It's like
Yeah.
it's very difficult to understand the politics of India.
If this person is at the bottom of that ladder, you'd expect that they would know not to try and get police and government involved.
Hmm.
As someone who's experiencing discrimination for
Hmm.
being at the bottom of a ladder, why
Yeah.
would they want to use the powers that make their life shit to make your life shit?
Yeah.
It's just it is. I still, like I said, wrapping my head around it, it really seems incredible to me that these types of people who are supposed to be so up on anti-casteism, anti-racism, anti-sexism, anti all these, and then anti-establishment, as you said
Yeah.
earlier, and then they're so quick to grab the establishment and use it when it suits them,
Yeah.
to fuck over someone who actually is one of the people they would supposedly defend,
Yeah.
and so quickly as well, over something so minor. It's like, just have a conversation, right?
Yeah.
I don't,
Yeah.
say I don't agree with what you said. Why? Okay, here's why. Okay, done. And maybe you would have agreed, and it could have been settled a lot easier, because you admitted you were emotional when you made that
Yeah.
comment.
Yeah.
Why did the police need to be involved?
Right. And the interesting thing about having a conversation is I also invited the person who supposedly ate the eggs to a
we
debate.
need we need to deal with
And
that in a minute. This
yeah.
supposedly bit, because it's
Uh,
so. Sorry, go on.
yeah, who supposedly ate the eggs to a debate, and he declined. So
Of course.
I don't know. Like maybe he is not confident of that notion, and he is still holding on to that notion. By the way, that eating eggs or non-vegan options is fine if
Mm.
there's no vegan options available.
Well, look,
and
we'll get
like
into
not
that
and
now.
not even in a survival situation.
We'll get into that now. But first of all, let me just comment that someone who's too cowardly to come to a debate but is brave enough to call the police or try and get legal action taken against someone is fucking pathetic. Let's just
Yeah,
say that as it is. That is absolutely pathetic. That is like the lowest of the low.
yeah,
I mean, obviously, if you went to his house and punched him in the face, okay, maybe he's got to get the police involved, right?
yeah.
Fair
Totally, he
play.
has to get the
Fair
police
play.
involved. Yeah,
Yeah, fair play, because this is, maybe you can't settle it that way. But when it's just words and it's disagreements and opinions and heated emotional words, I mean, God, you can solve that without getting the police involved, seriously,
yeah.
and the government. Come on. I mean, come on. But let's get into this supposed eating eggs thing. So I've seen everything here, so I can also I can give my take on it and see if you agree with me.
Okay.
Because I really want to see what you think about this because I know you deep in this. So
Yeah.
so I saw the original story where he said, I ate eggs. Those were his words. That was what he said. I ate eggs. And gave that bullshit reason. It was, there was nothing else, blah, blah, blah. And then I saw the follow-up story after the backlash where he
Mhm.
said, no, I didn't eat eggs. This was a thought experiment. And actually, people need to get off my back here because I didn't do it. It was just all an idea. It was all just, it was all just up in I was just chatting, guys. I was just
Mhm.
shooting the shit.
Yeah.
That's all it was. Like, woo, jokes. But I still think I would eat eggs in that situation. And it
Yeah.
was like, so you did eat them. You just can't take the heat, and now you're going to double down on the idea you put forward, which is total shit. That's my take. What's your
Hmm.
take?
Maybe I can't say he ate the eggs because apparently that's defamatory. But but
Hypothetically, okay. Hypothetically, okay. How about this? Let's do this. Let's switch it up.
mhm,
Hypothetically, if someone was like some kind of influential, semi-influential vegan on Instagram. Let's imagine in this hypothetical, this person posted saying they ate eggs and
mhm,
then said the reason they did it is because it was late, they couldn't get anything else for dinner, and they didn't want to wait till the next day.
yeah,
And all these things happened. And then there was a backlash. And then they said, actually, they didn't do it. It's a thought experiment. Would we, in this hypothetical world where this
yeah,
definitely didn't happen,
yeah.
would we be able to establish that this is most likely a lie and they did actually eat eggs, but they just got the backlash and wanted to try and save face in this
Yeah,
hypothetical?
in that hypothetical world, I would think that that person definitely ate eggs, and they're just saving face. And not only did they do that, they're also standing by the notion in this hypothetical world that it's fine to eat eggs. And when vegans criticize this person, right? When other vegans criticize this person, not only do they do not take the criticism, they say that the criticism from the vegans is an emotional meltdown, uh,
Hmm.
which is
Okay.
something they
Okay.
might say in the hypothetical world.
Right. So that's interesting because I would consider the person eating the eggs to be having an emotional meltdown because they can't for some reason control their emotions to have enough willpower to wait until the morning to avoid paying for animal abuse.
Mhm.
That's how I would see it. I would say it's perfectly reasonable and rational to say that if it's one meal, maybe just maybe it's worth skipping it to not fund a horrible industry.
Yeah,
Just that's what
totally.
I would say. Yeah.
And within that hypothetical, that person also said that if dairy options were the only options available, they
Mm,
wouldn't consume dairy.
right.
So
Right.
clearly, it was not some kind of survival situation. It was
Mm,
clear that they did not have some kind of debilitating physical illness that made it, physical or mental illness that made it impossible for them to skip a meal.
I think what you're going through is shit, and I wanted you to give kind of like your how it's been for you to go be at the back end of this to have all of this coming at you, this legal bullshit, how you've been reacting to it, and also to try and get you a bit of support as well because it's not fair for we're in the public eye, but it's not
Hmm.
fair how this is coming from your own camp. I think this is
Yeah.
really, we expect it from non-vegans, and it's funny when it comes from non-vegans, but when it comes from our own camp, it's like really, So, how is everything for you? How has it been going through this, man?
Okay, so when I first criticized these people, right? Um, they immediately, like when I called them a racist, they were like immediately they're like, we're gonna take legal action against this person. We're gonna take legal action, and I got a bit scared at that point because I'm just a bit scared of like legal action and that kind of stuff. Like who wouldn't be, especially when
Right.
you've done nothing wrong.
Mm.
Um, and like a week later, they served me a legal notice. This made the title. They It served as a legal notice, and that's when I got really, really scared. That I don't want to get into this mess. They said, take down all these videos, just take them down, apologize, and donate the money. And I did. I made all three videos private, right? Because I was
Mhm.
scared. I was really scared of the legal action that they were threatening. I said, I'm gonna give you the money that I made from these videos. And now they're sharing the screenshot of that for some reason, I don't know.
Mm.
And I said, I'm gonna publicly apologize, because again, I was like really scared. And I did all of those three things. I made a public apology post on my YouTube community tab, and they're like, no, this is not going to do. You must apologize on video. I'm like, how does that matter in which form I apologize? And if you want an apology, here it is. But I think what they wanted was to basically see me publicly beg. And I
Mhm.
was like, no, no, this is going too far. You're not going to get that. I I made the two videos where criticizing the egg eating person. I made them public again. I wouldn't give the money to them, and I consulted a lawyer. And the first time I consulted a lawyer, they were like, it was actually, I should say, a terrible lawyer who was like, well, why did you criticize them? They can, they can, it might have hurt their ego or something. You shouldn't have done that. And I was like, well, the lawyer is saying this, that's why I did all of that. But the next time I consulted a better lawyer from within Bangalore, the city I'm in right now,
Mm.
and he told me, what you did doesn't amount to defamation,
Mhm.
right? And like on social media, be it on social media or be it on print media, um, you know there can be some disagreement, and when there's some disagreement, there's some uh, sharp language used.
Mm.
That doesn't amount to defamation.
Mhm.
So until I heard that from that lawyer, which was a long time, it was like 5 days, I was like really scared.
Mm.
I
Mm.
was afraid the police is gonna show up at my doorstep, and these are all irrational thoughts, but I was like really scared. And that's just what I was going through.
I understand why you would feel scared though, because it's it is scary that even I had this time where I put a video out and a lot of people were threatening me with the FBI and stuff, even though I was living in Finland. And there is a part of your brain that's like, would the FBI like come to my house? Would they find me? And it's like it's irrational, right?
Mhm.
Isn't it? This is the thing, it's irrational. And what you've experienced though, I mean, and in your case, maybe not completely irrational, because hey, it could have happened, but I understand what is what I'm trying to
Yeah.
say. What you've experienced the hard way, you've learned the hard way, is that when this type of person smells blood,
Hmm.
they are like a wolf, like, or maybe you could say a shark, right? Smell blood from miles away, and
Yeah.
then they fucking go for it, right? So when you gave in a bit and you were like, all right, video's down, there's an apology, they were like, right, he's bleeding. Let's try and rip his fucking throat out. Make a video, apologize, grovel,
Yeah.
and it wouldn't have ended there, bro. Like I don't know if you realize it would have gone
Okay.
on YouTube, right? And then they would have said, put it on Instagram.
Yeah.
And then there would have been something else after that. Delete this comment that someone made.
Hmm.
Wait, manage your comments better. Don't I want every comment that says anything bad about us gone. This
Oh,
is what
they did say that. When I
right.
made the public apology post on the YouTube community tab, they were like, "Look at the comment section of this apology post that you've made. This is evidence of," and hear this out, quote, "third party defamation," unquote. So like they're
Wow.
like, remove these comments. Like this is not gonna do. Like make a proper apology. Yeah, this is not the kind of apology that will do.
I can say I think these people are two absolute cunts, right?
Hmm.
And they can't, what are they going to get? To take a suit out because they don't feel like they're cunts? But, well, I think a lot of people would agree you're acting like proper cunts. So, actually, I mean, how does this work? Are you responsible for me now, Aditya, because you've
Uh,
come on here and you're the one that's getting sued. Now I'm the second party defamation. I don't know. Is this? I don't
maybe
know what this.
I
This
don't
is
know.
bullshit.
No,
Is what I'm trying to
yeah,
tell you, mate. It's
yeah.
absolute bullshit what they're saying here. It is absolutely disgraceful, and to
Hmm.
have you feeling that way when again it could have all been solved if the coward would have just come on and actually discussed. You would have probably come to common ground if
Yeah,
you had a discussion, a
yeah,
debate, not
yeah,
even a debate, a discussion. But I am really happy that you didn't give in the end, and that you did decide to push back. And you've made a video since then, right?
yeah,
Explaining all of this,
yeah.
or most of this, right? And how's the response to that been?
um to that, like, I said, like, these people, they said they're gonna sue me, and look, this is what's been happening, and I explained all of that. And now, in the comment section of that video, these people are just saying, no, no, we never said we were going to sue you. But first of all, few things. First of all, they kept saying that they were going to file for defamation. In the legal notice, it says civil suit for defamation. It will allow us to file a civil suit for defamation. And they posted it publicly so everyone can read the legal notice.
Mhm.
And they sent me an email, and I'm going to read this out to you, just one small part of it.
Yeah, go ahead.
They said, quote, the charges and compensation for what you owe for putting us through will be detailed and sent to you by our lawyer, unquote. So this is obviously a lawsuit. Right? This is obviously a lawsuit. They're talking about
Oh man.
compensation. So yeah, now they're backtracking and they're saying that, we never said that we're going to sue you. But apart from their response, I have been so overwhelmed by the positive response from the wider vegan community, let's say.
Mhm.
Like, there have been posts on Reddit. There was like a big post on Reddit made by someone whose username I don't quite remember. It got like some 400 upvotes, defending my actions, like defending me criticizing them,
Mm.
right? They're saying that Soytheist did nothing wrong. There's a particular subreddit I really like. It's called Vegan Circle Jerk, and there's a post pinned for me there. It's called a Soytheist appreciation post. Lots of
Mhm.
people have messaged me, saying, we're behind you. There was another post made by the Instagram account Vegan Veranda,
Mhm.
which they started the hashtag Stand with Soytheist, and loads of people shared that. And to be quite frank, David, this is very overwhelming for me because I never have received this kind of support. So it was just really overwhelming for me,
Mm.
and I'm like really glad. And I think one of the reasons they're saying, and this is an opinion, this is
Mm.
not a fact, so hopefully they won't sue me.
Again.
Yeah, again. So I think one of the reasons they are saying that they were never going to sue me is because they're seeing this large support that
Mm.
I have received. So I would like to thank everyone who supported me, who has supported me in these
Mhm.
difficult times. It means the world to me.
I said you've learned the hard way how these people won't stop, but you've also learned the easy way, let's say, even that if you do speak up, then most people, like, there is a silent majority out there, and a lot of these people, they sit there and they see bullshit like this again and again and again and again, and they say nothing, right? Because not because they're cowards or something. It's just because no one likes confrontation, and people like you and I, we don't like it too, but we'll do it because
Yeah,
that's how we're building. That's how we're building these channels. It's how we're building like rigorous kind of argumentation. It's by challenging shitty ideas and shitty
yeah,
perspectives from both vegans and non-vegans, but mainly non-vegans, right? So
yeah,
we're used to the confrontation. So people first of all saw your confrontation video and they were happy. They were like, okay, okay, this is good. Like someone standing up against this kind of bullshit. Because this kind of I don't even call it like, because it's not progressive bullshit necessarily, but it's this kind of like hyper philosophical progressive bullshit that goes around where it's like just ideas and ideologies and none of it's actually helping anything at all.
yeah,
It's just like there's a phrase called guitar wanking, where it's basically someone who's very good at guitar and they just play randomly and don't actually play anything. They don't play a song, they just wank the guitar basically. And it kind of feels like there are some progressives that are kind of like, I don't know, you call it ideology wanking, let's call it. I don't know. They just go into these philosophical nonsense and then assert that you're horrible if you don't agree,
Yeah,
right?
there is a term for them, isn't it? It's I don't know who coined it.
All right.
Regressive leftists.
Regressive leftists. Okay. Yeah. You could call them that. I know there's like the common insult is woke, but I understand why a lot of people don't like to use that because it's not
Yeah,
necessarily what it used to mean. But let's be honest, that's kind of what it means these days. Like
yeah,
regressive leftist, woke. It's pretty much, in my eyes, the same thing. People love to see other people, especially us, more reasonable people within vegan circles, stand up against it. And you did
mhm,
that and you got a lot of support. And then now they came after you again, and when you apologized, people were like, probably like, oh, fuck, they're winning, right? People were probably a bit upset with that. I saw in the comments, some people were like, for fuck's sake, you shouldn't have done this, right? They were upset because they're like,
okay.
I thought we had something here. I thought we were going to say, fuck these people. No. Then you did say, do you know what? Fuck these people. And look what happened. All the support, Reddit threads,
Mm-hmm.
Instagram posts, people
Hmm.
sharing your shit everywhere saying, support this guy, support this guy. The
Yeah.
same thing that happened to me, man, when I
Okay.
went through all that stuff with that animal rights organization, when they fired me for bullshit reasons, and I made everything public, and I thought, oh my god, everyone's going to hate me here, but I'm going to try anyway. And it was the
Hmm.
opposite. I thought people would support them over me, and I bet some part of you thought maybe they'll support them over you,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Totally.
With
Yeah.
you, it's the opposite,
Yeah.
right? People are
Totally.
sick of it, man.
People are sick of these, let's say, ideologues
Yeah,
who hold certain ideologies, and they're absolutely sick of it, and no one stands up to them. And there's a good reason for that. It's because, let's say, these hypothetical people again. If you criticize these hypothetical people,
hypothetical
uh,
cunts.
yeah, if you criticize them, they will call you all sorts of names, David. So
Hmm.
if you did it, you're a white racist, you're a white
Oh,
supremacist.
completely, man.
Yeah.
Typical
And
cis white male behavior. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah,
I know.
yeah,
I've
yeah,
had it. I still have it, man. Yeah,
yeah. If
yeah.
someone like who is from a privileged background within India, they did it, they're casteist. They are name the word. Like, it depends on whom you're criticizing. Right? If you're criticizing someone from a marginalized caste, you're a casteist within India. If you're criticizing uh, like someone from a tribal background, you're like an anti-tribal, this and that. But it's interesting because when like, they do this all the time, these hypothetical
Mhm.
people. But the moment I do it, it's
Hypothetical cunts.
yeah.
Sorry.
The moment I do it, this threaten legal action. It's such
Yeah,
an
yeah.
incredible double standard, and I
100%.
think for what I did, again, I think it's a possibility. I'm not 100% sure. For what I said, I think there was more of a basis for than what they say all the time, right? So this incredible double standard, I just can't believe it.
There's so much double standards going on here, but yeah, you've nailed another one right there on their head as well from these hypothetical cunts. And by the way, the reason I keep saying the C word, if anyone's got a problem with that, you as well, bro. If you've got a problem with that, you gotta blame Carl Urban, the actor from The Boys. I don't know if you watched that, but it's like about 100 times an episode, and unfortunately, it's put that word back in my vocabulary along with Ricky Gervais. So, but I'm reserving it for the worst of the worst. This is the first time I've ever seen a vegan YouTuber, in my experience, I think maybe, or at least one that I know, getting faced with legal action for a video, and it's vegans doing it. Just think about that, bro. How many non-vegans, how many meat eaters could have come after you with legal action if they so chose to? How many could have? Probably a lot, right?
Probably like a lot. I have like over 100 videos, and most of them are aimed at non-vegans. And like,
But they don't.
yeah, they don't come after me with legal action. But these people chose to do. And like, I I criticize non-vegans in the same manner that I criticize these supposed vegans or vegans. Let's say, yeah, these vegans, and they're threatening legal action, and it's just unbelievable. And I don't swear a lot, but it's fucking tiring.
Yeah, man. No, I feel that it's a waste of your time. Like all this, God, man, all this energy, and I know how much energy it is when you're thinking about this stuff, and what a waste it's all been. And it is exhausting and it's tiring. And you could be doing it, you could be making other videos, you could be doing loads of other stuff, but instead you're trying to fight with vegans because they're trying to sue you. What is this, man? We're gonna get to the point where we give some advice for other people facing this kind of stuff. But before we do, I want to discuss the people supporting these people because what is their game, man? I mean, because they have some supporters, and I'll be
Yeah,
totally honest with you. I know some of them personally, and I don't understand. I don't understand why they would support this lawsuit. Maybe they could support them publicly criticizing you back. I
yeah,
get that. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah,
Take a side. If you don't agree with what he said, take a side publicly. Whatever. Just, to criticize you. You criticize them. They criticize you. This is to be expected if you're going to make videos, right?
yeah,
But to support the lawsuit, like I've seen these people liking and supporting the lawsuit, the legal action.
yeah.
Why do you think that's where's this coming from, man?
I don't know. It's again few possibilities, and this is my opinion. This definitely could be ethnic bias against me. This could be ideological tribalism, as in
Mm,
like they because they agree with them on every other thing. They think that you must support them no matter what. You must support your ideological tribe no matter what, even if it's at the cost of victims of literal murder and torture, like which is the like who are the animals,
mhm.
and or it could simply be that you know they they just are unconditionally supporting their friends. It has to be one of these possibilities, or
Yeah,
maybe
I
there's
mean,
something
yeah.
else that I can't think of right now.
I think you're right. I think that what I think is the most likely one is the ideological tribalism. This idea that uh, because we are all intersectional, or whatever they want to call themselves, we are all this, and therefore this person's one of us, and the person he's going against isn't one of us.
Hmm.
Therefore, legal action, yes, because he's clearly evil and deserves it, even though you are one of the people that these supposed intersectionals should be giving a lot of consideration to, considering they believe in like a hierarchy of oppression. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
Like oppression points. This is how they operate. So if you're it is, dude. If you tick you tick a lot of boxes. The
Yeah,
only box you don't tick is that you're a dude. But unfortunately, that's you don't get the bingo card. Unfortunately, because you're a man. And also, I believe straight. So actually, no, you're
yeah,
actually pretty low down the. But my point is that being a like you said earlier, minority of a minority of a minority in India, which is a country that has, historically and still currently dealing with a lot of issues. And Indians have dealt with discrimination from outside of the country for a long
yeah.
time as well.
Hmm.
You'd expect some more nuance from these people and not just to turn on you like that, like bam,
Yeah,
just immediately like, oh, let's support a lawsuit against this person. But unfortunately, we're not seeing that. I think it's
yeah.
tribal, ideological tribalism. I agree with you on that.
And like since they have said that they're not going to sue me, some people are commenting on my posts, commenting on my videos, saying they're not going to sue you, you're lying.
Yeah.
Which I had every reason to believe that they were going to sue me.
Well,
They're
yeah.
saying they're not going to sue you, but you deserve it. You deserve to be
Okay.
sued.
Awesome.
um
Great people. Yeah.
so and like if I agreed with them,
Mm.
if I had their exact same ideology, I would be like the pinnacle of like, look, this dude is on our side.
Yeah.
What are you gonna do about this dude who agrees with everything we are saying? But no, because I'm on the other side, because I don't
Mm,
agree with this egg eating thing, because I don't agree
mm.
with that being oppressed means you're automatically right, because I don't agree with these things. uh, they're like, fuck you, you deserve to be sued.
Yeah, totally. That's it's amazing because this has been happening in the West for a while now, and I wondered when or if it would happen in India. Like how in the West, like in America, for example, a lot of black speakers, like African American public commentators and speakers, some of which are not actually right wing, by the way, some of which
Mhm.
are actually consider themselves left wing, have been getting cancelled out by other groups, mainly white, because they don't have the correct like African American opinions, right?
Yeah,
Do you know what
yeah,
I
yeah,
mean?
yeah,
Like I saw this happening, and I was like, wow, okay, that took a turn real quick. Like, since when did anti-racism become racism? And I wondered,
yeah,
like, would this ever happen in India? And well, I mean, yeah, I guess this could be kind of what we're seeing here. Like,
yeah,
you are useful to this type of person, this type of, like you call them, mainlanders, high caste, when you're agreeing, because then they can say,
yeah,
you know, we're defending these people, and look, these people agree with us. But when you're you know, a discriminated caste, or lower in the society in India, and you disagree, well, you should get sued. Actually,
yeah,
you know,
yeah.
you're no longer, we don't defend you anymore.
Yeah, we're not going to defend you. I'd just like to
Yeah,
clarify that I'm not technically lower caste. I'm tribal, because
sure. Okay, my
I
bad.
do like to make that distinction.
Sure, sure.
Um, so yeah, but anyway, you bring up the point of cancellation, which I do want to talk about.
Yeah,
These people, they also put out tweets, um, uh, saying, look, there's this vegan YouTuber called Soytheist. If any one of you has had a bad experience with this dude, come forward, tell me, and we're gonna publish that with anonymity confirmed. And
yeah.
it's an interesting strategy, I think, to confirm anonymity, because yeah. Um, and I think, again, I think it's an opinion. The reason they do this, it was pointed out to me by a friend, is because then they can just say anything, and they're like, "Sorry, can't say who said this." So sorry, can't say who
Well,
said this.
oh man, so they've tried. So they've not only trying to sue you, they're trying to cancel you as well with the cancellation campaign. Just
Yeah.
wonderful, bro. Let's close off with, you're not the only person that's been through this, and
Mhm.
it's most likely we're not going to hear the end of this group of people or groups like them, because there are loads of groups like them. Like I said to you, this kind of bullshit started over in the West. And I remember when it was happening a lot here, and it wasn't happening in India. And then I've seen it creep, this kind of people start to get more and more vocal, and build more and more groups, and then start to do shit like this. So they're not going away anytime soon, it seems, unless we do something about it. So what advice do you have for someone else who's facing something like this, like you? Like, imagine this, someone's just started a campaign against an individual, and they come to you and say, like, all right, what do I do? From your experience, what would you advise them?
Don't give in. Don't give in, because the moment you give in, they will just demand more, right? That's the first advice I would give someone. And the second is, like, really get your own side out in the public, right? Like, don't let them be the only ones who are speaking. Make your own side public, like, let people hear both sides and decide for themselves which side is more rational. I think these are the two main advice points that I would offer.
I like that a lot, and I love the fact that you said let them decide which appears more rational, as opposed to saying like control the narrative, because that's what they try to do,
Yeah,
right? They're trying to control the narrative. They will use words like, they'll say you're racist if you agree with him,
yeah,
whereas what you would say is, you make your own mind up. Here are the
yeah,
facts,
yeah,
and this is where this is very powerful, and I'm happy you put it like that, and I couldn't agree more, man. Is there anything you
yeah.
wanted to add that I've missed that you wanted to get into?
uh Not really, not anything that comes to mind right now.
Cool, man. Well, I'm really happy you came here to do this, and I'm happy we did it. I think it's really useful, dude, and I'm glad we got like an hour discussion here. For if people really want to know the truth, like everything, I think
Hmm.
we've covered. I think we've turned over every stone here,
Yeah,
right? They
I
can they
think
can
so.
hear what you really think, and I've said some of the things you probably wanted to say. So I think it's a win-win there, because I'm pissed off about this, bro. Because this is total bullshit, man. Where can people
Uh,
find you?
okay, so people can find me on YouTube as Soytheist. And on YouTube, I put more detailed, thought out videos. And if you want more like brief, snappy thoughts from me, then that's where you go to my Instagram, where it's just like very like in the moment thoughts. And like, if you really, really like my work, you can support me via Patreon, and it's again just Soy Theist on Patreon.
Awesome. So get over there, subscribe, follow, leave some comments of support, send some messages. And yeah, totally. Just be there, because this is, if we're all there for each other, this silent majority, and we all put the work in to support each other, then these people, this minority of loud, arrogant ideologues, they'll get smaller and smaller and quieter. But it's only going to happen if the sensible ones speak up. So thank
Yeah.
you for doing that, mate. I'll
Yeah.
keep doing it. You keep doing it. Hopefully, one day we'll have to deal with this shit. Hey,
Yeah. Totally.
thanks, man.